Hello everyone, this is my complainy video about why I will no longer be buying NGC slabbed modern coins. The timing on this video, I might get some comparisons with Still Keepin' One's AppMech situation. I definitely want to say that I think he got cheated in a much more severe way than I did. I feel like he got outright ripped off, whereas I just feel like a sucker for having thought that NGC's guarantee, Numismatic guarantee corporation, for thinking that their guarantee would actually be worth the extra money that it would cost to buy an NGC slabbed coin. So, as you can see, this is a PF70 lunar horse. This is the 13th lunar horse that I've purchased of these proofs. I'm trying to find one without spots. And I finally paid a pretty substantial premium above and beyond what I had been previously paying to get a graded 70 because I just wanted a perfect example to collect the full set, and hopefully I can get a proper zoom here. But right underneath Elizabeth, there are the spots. And with the other 12, I just sent them back to the eBay seller. And got my money back. No harm, no foul. You know, they showed up, they had spots, I sent them back. Not a big deal. Because I felt like I'd finally found maybe a solution to my problem, instead of doing that, which is what I should have done, I contacted NGC first. And I said, can you tell me whether or not these are covered by your guarantee? And they basically said, no, we can't tell you that. In order for you to find out whether or not it's covered under the guarantee, it's going to cost you about $30 round trip shipping to and from. It cost me $8 to ship to them, and it cost them apparently $21 to ship back to me. So I don't know why they are charging such an exorbitant amount for shipping. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe it has something to do with the shipping situation that got Still Keepin' One screwed over. Who knows? But the problem is that by the time I ship it out to them, pay the $30 worth of shipping, and they ship it back to me, it's going to be outside the return window from eBay. So if I choose to see if they'll cover this, I'm stuck with the coin either way. And at that point, I should have just sent it back to the seller. I should have just returned it and said this isn't worth the hassle. But instead, I decided to see. I foolishly believed that the G there in NGC was actually worth something. And I'm just going to read one of the later emails to one of the customer service representatives, the many customer service representatives that I talked to. He had just told me that the turnaround time should be 12 days when I asked where the package was. This is after they'd told me that it was not covered and that they had shipped it back. So here's what I had to say. The coin was delivered to you 13 days from yesterday, so that's come and gone regarding the 12 days. You still haven't given me any tracking info for the coin. When I shipped it to you for $8, it came with tracking info, but apparently when they ship it back to me for $21, they don't give you tracking info until you ask them 4 times. Next to the common white spotting issue is referred to milk spotting. That's not what this is. This is a different type of spotting. I can loop you into a conversation with Silvertown that I've had about that. They're one of the dealers that I bought and returned raw coins to. Then, in response to him saying that a customer service person can't give an opinion about grading or whether or not the pictures that I sent that clearly showed the spotting, whether or not that would be covered, he said they couldn't tell me, and I said, you could have told me if the spotting on the coin would impact the grade before I sent it in. You could have sent the pictures to a grader, and they could have responded. It's not like they work in a vault on the moon. You chose not to. So again, they just don't care. They have no, they've updated their guarantee to exempt themselves from this, and everyone else is just screwed. And then finally I say, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because you as a company have already decided that instead of not slabbing a coin you can't guarantee, or standing behind a guarantee, or telling someone when the guarantee won't apply, you're just going to say, fuck it, not our problem. It still stands that the only time I've gotten a lemon of a coin that I couldn't return was when I paid extra for an NGC coin, and that's what the G in NGC is worth. And that's why I won't be doing business with them anymore for modern coins. If they can't guarantee, if spots can show up 2 years later, they could just say, we're not going to grade modern coins until they're 2 years old. But they won't say that, because they want your money. They want the money to grade the coins. They want to be paid for the service of slabbing and guaranteeing coins, but they know that they can't actually guarantee the coin because it could end up looking like crap. So instead of doing the responsible thing and protecting the quality of their guarantee, they just say, you're out of luck. We don't care. Too bad for you. And none of this would be so bad if they could just tell me outright whether or not it was covered. But they pretend that their graders are, unreachable, as I said, in a vault on the moon. And it's impossible, just completely impossible to get in touch with them. And the result of that is that they have an entire corporation. Their whole company, the only reason for it to exist is to preserve and guarantee value for coins. That's all they do. And if their guarantee has cost me money, which it did, because I paid extra for their guarantee, and the result is that it's less valuable than eBay's standard returns policy, which would have let me just send this back, then what the hell's the point? What's the point of their whole company if they can't guarantee this? If I'm going to buy like that AU 50 halftime from 100 years ago that I showed in my last video, then yes, I can see, that's more what they do, and it actually will preserve the coin, and it's not going to change too much. It might tone, but toning is well known and often preferable, whereas the spotting issue is just bad. So I would consider buying graded slabbed coins then, but I'd probably go with PCGS, honestly, after my experience with their stupid customer service people who don't get back to you for a week, don't tell you when they shipped your package back, refuse to give you tracking information. Yeah, just their customer service is awful. And their guarantee cost me money because it made it so that I could no longer return the coin, because they refused to actually tell me that it didn't cover this issue, even though they could have just said doesn't cover it. So fuck them, fuck their business. Sorry, I usually make family-friendly videos. This is not one. I encourage everyone to stop, or at least think very carefully before purchasing an NGC modern coin. And their little guarantee policy actually specifically says bullion, modern bullion, which this is not. This is a proof coin, which means it's not bullion, but they don't care. That's that then. And what it comes down to, and the way this does tie back for me into still keeping one situation, is that customer service at companies these days doesn't exist to help your customers. It exists to protect your profits from your customers. That's what they do. Their whole purpose for existing is to shield the company from having to actually stand behind quality, to frustrate the customer until they turn away. That's just, get their money and then do whatever you can to make them go away. That is the current status of customer service for many companies today, and it's repulsive. So I've talked long enough. It's almost 10 minutes. Have a good day, everyone, and please don't buy from NGC, or at least think very hard before you do.